and today we're looking at Albert Henry Meyer. Bill, can you tell us a little bit about Albert?
Yeah, I think the best thing is to call him Bert, because that seems to be what, in fact, who he was known as. And he was quite young when he enlisted. He enlisted at the very, very start of the war, and he just about to turn 19. He was still 18 when he enlisted. But he went overseas with the 1st Battalion, which was the first contingent to leave Canada to go over on the first request of government to send forces over. They arrived in England in October of 1914, and then they trained in Salisbury Plain until the following February. Then they went overseas and into France, and they went into Belgium in April, and that's when they first saw the first contact. And he was actually wounded in the first contact in Ypres, and he was wounded, a minor wound. Well, I shouldn't say a minor wound, it was a head wound, and it took him about three weeks before he was back on the front. Then on June 15th, he fought in the Battle of Givenchy. Well, it's not a significant, well-known battle from a Canadian perspective. It's a very significant battle from a Bruce County perspective, because in that one battle there were about 10 or 11 Bruce County men who either died or were wounded in that battle. And he had been working in Southampton as a night watchman before that. So he actually was one of the very youngest men from town to die. I believe he may have been the second youngest to die by a few days. But he died, and he's buried he actually is not buried in a cemetery. He was buried in the battlefield near Givenchy, behind the trench line, and his body remains there today. But he's remembered on the Vimy Memorial. You'll find his name if you visit the